has become increasingly evident to me that the quality of masochism I perceive as a vital component to my sexual relations has also functioned as equally vital to my sustained interest in academia. The threat of masochism, theoretically, if not yet ethically, became apparent as early as Master's Shakespeare course, when I decided to recite one of Helena's monologues from A Midsummer Night's Dream for the 25-line recitation exercise. One of a handful of Shakespeare's female masochists, Helena, especially the Helena played by Callista Flockhart, was my kindred spirit. We were masochists for and in love. We would prostrate ourselves, shed ourselves of all dignity and self-respect, just for a morsel of affection. I knew exactly the speech I wanted to recite. It is the exchange in 2.1 where Helena begs Demetrius to love her, even though he adamantly insists that he does not nor cannot love her. And even for that do I love you the more. I am your spaniel, and Demetrius, the more you beat me, the more I fawn on you. Use me but as you use your spaniel. Spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me. Only give me leave, unworthy as I am, to follow you. What worser place can I beg in your love than to be used as you use your dog? This declaration is the mold of masochism I poured myself into during my education, before I read Freud or Deleuze or any of the other queer scholars who articulated the concept for me in abstract terms. I had and used Helena's words to help me become the best possible spaniel to my master, as well as to all the other women I encountered along the path to completing 3 graduate degrees. 10 years of becoming masochist fixed the identity, one that only exists in relation to or mutual dependence with another, into a permanent position for me. Regardless of whether my sadists were scholars, I actively sought out intimate relations with cold, cruel women to dominate me. The repetition provided comfort through familiarity. I knew my position. Furthermore, my willful submission to these women, suggestively always older women by at least 10 years, fostered the libidinal sphere of fantasy that clouded over the reality of all these relations. The relation was born of reality, but bred in fantasy. And what better plane of imminence for this fantasy than Shakespeare? My fantasy was green and ripe that summer after my graduation. The domain was virtual, the most appropriate for fantasy to thrive, no? The fastidiously layered structure of desire manifest on our virtual daily living, consistent electronic communication from 6 a.m. till midnight, primarily between Master and me, but also between Ellen and me, and even the occasional email à trois, proved the ultimate stimulation to creating an unparalleled work ethic. I related to them in a variety of ways. I wanted to be both of them. I wanted to fuck both of them. I wanted to be their intellectual colleague and their culturally savvy mentee. And most edibly, I wanted to be their child, the genetic offspring of their intellects. I wanted to accompany them to conferences, dressed in all black, and hear whispers of envious colleagues. She is theirs. Most scholars short-circuit upon the thought of human contact. The only way they know how to commune in the flesh and have a discussion with eye contact is within the frame or under the pretense of the academic conference. This is especially true of literary scholars, cerebral creatures who regard the word as flesh and whose economy and excellence is language. Caricatured as isolated, depressed types hunched over the glowing screen of the 21st century leather-bound book, the academic has actually become the everman, who in turn has become nothing less than the avatar. For what has humankind become other than a collection of plugged-in bodies, alone in cubicles and bedrooms, with fingers that mindlessly flit on keyboards to conjure virtual selves in virtual domains?